Welcome back, my friends. My name is Eric. This is Rome, and we are back with some more Star Citizen. We are in New Babbage today, as at least that's where we're going to start. And our primary goal is to test a web app by Wednesdaywoe on how to, well, for hauling, essentially. That's the goal. She's been working on this app, and she put a video up yesterday. I think yesterday is when it went live, and posted a link for it to give it a go. So it is not done by any stretch of the imagination, but functionally is kind of what we're looking at. So let me minimize OBS here so I can click on it, and this is what it looks like. And the idea is you can type in your ship and the system you're in and what type of missions you're doing, and it is going to give you a let's go pick up location. Sure, we'll pick up at Microtech, and we will drop this one off at Shubin 10. And we were going to take, I don't know, how about some hydrogen fuel? And we will take 8 of it at a max size of 4. And it also, we're going to pick up some of this, but we're going to take it to Rayarni Deltana. And sure, we'll do another 8 to them. And then we're going to pick up some more. Here, we'll minimize that. But then we'll have another mission where we want to go to, let's say, Shubin 10. And we are going to pick up some ship ammunition. And we're going to get 12 of that. And we want to take it, and maybe it's in 2 SCU crates. And we're going to take some of that to Deltana, but also some of that to call tag, right? What's going to happen is it's going to show us reset completion. It's going to show us the steps that it thinks we need to go through to pick everything up. So in this case, it's actually sending us to Shubin 10 first, picking up all the ship ammunition, then going to Deltana to drop off the first bit, then going to call tag, then going to Microtech, then coming back to Deltana and Shubin. So that's not the order I would do it in, and so I'm going to slide it around. So let's see, we're going to pick up at S4LD13 first. Maybe can I move it? Yeah, I could have sworn I could. It just didn't want to initially. There we go. So we're going to go here. Then we're going to go here, right? Because we can drop this off and pick these up. Then we'll go to Rayani Deltana. We'll drop off stuff because we have stuff from here and here to drop off. That will finish this one. And then we can go on to Caltag. It didn't work quite the way I expected it to work, if I'm honest. I expected it to group these two together because we're dropping them off together. That should be what happens. Call tag. Also, at Shubin 10, we are not picking up 32, we are just picking up 12. But it shows 32 there. Maybe this is our max cargo, right? We start with 16. We drop off, that brings us down to 8. We add an extra 24, which takes us up to 32. Okay, that works, that works. Then we drop off 8, we're down to 24, we're down to 12, we're down to 0. Okay, so as far as basic functionality goes, and I don't remember, I thought on her video it combined everything on the one drop off when she did it. I would say this all kind of needs to, I mean, I guess because one's a delivery and one's a pickup. Okay, I buy that. but I don't know how it decides the routes, right? Because it says optimized routes, and it wasn't optimized. Now, I know it doesn't take into account distance traveled, right, to optimize for mileage, but it should have optimized for fewest number of stops, I would have thought, and it didn't do that. It just gave us all of them. Now, that's not the end of the world, and to be fair, that's not needed by me. I'm more than capable of swapping these around in the order I want, and sometimes that will be by mileage. So just being able to slide them to put them where I want and to organize stuff, for my purposes, that's plenty. But it'd be nice if it did it. I'm not going to argue that. And it does say optimized, which infers that it should be optimized, at least for the number of stops. If not, I understand mileage is a whole another ball of wax trying to figure out as things are what they are. So I wouldn't expect that at all. I didn't put a payout in, but let's say this one pays 52 and this one pays, I don't know, 60. So that would show it. Now, right now I have a MISC Odyssey listed in here, which has an SCU of 252. And it shows that at no point do I need more than 40. And I don't think I ever need 40. I'm not sure where it comes up with that number. I mean, that's the total, right? We've got 8 and 16, or 16 and 24, which do add up to 30, but at no point do we have, or add up to 40, but at no point do we have 40 on the ship. At least not the route I took. I can't imagine any route. I guess if you went from Microtech to Schubert and you did your pickup before you did your delivery, right, that'd take us up to 40, but I don't know. I guess it just tells you that at the end of it, you're going to have that much total. So that maybe this number here should reflect whatever the highest number is here. So you know what the highest amount of storage you need to complete the run as you have it listed. Not if you were just to pick up everything before dropping off everything or anything, right? So I would say maybe that number needs to come from the highest one of these numbers. The other thing I run into is I'm going to be, well, first of all, when reviewing a fellow goth web app, Miss Manor says that your nails should be done, and mine are not. Mine are pretty crap right now. But I'm a welding instructor, and this is the last week of the semester, and at this point, my nihilism has reached levels where nail polish is no longer on the list. So to speak. But we will make up for that by flying a black ship with a death's head on it. Unfortunately, said black ship is not actually listed in the list. I'll be flying an Asgard today. Now, I did take a look at this app and play with it last night while running some missions. And some of it's just not every ship's in here. The closest really for me was the Odyssey, which is a did, but it's 252. So it is slightly more than the 180 that my Asgard has. Originally, I went with the the Argo Raft, because the Argo Raft has 192, I think, or 194 right now. But she still has the old cargo number in there before the cargo update. Now, the other thing I ran into was originally I was running an interstellar mission. And so I was here and I was running stuff from Nix into Stanton. And it doesn't like that because it doesn't give me a destination that was appropriate for any of those. Let's remove this. We'll add a mission. We've got interstellar here. We're going to pick up Adlevsky, and we're going to take something. Now, in this case, none of the items I was bringing were also listed. I was running the Red Wind missions, and it's like party favors and alcohol, and I don't remember what the other one was, but none of those were listed here, right? These are the only commodities she has in here right now. Let's just say we're taking quartz. And I was bringing them to a variety of stations in Stanton, of which you can see they're not here, right? I mean, I guess you could say Pyro Gateway if you're going to the Pyro Gateway in Stanton. I believe this is probably the one in Nix that it's referring to. So it has some Nix locations and it has some Pyro locations, but it didn't have any of the locations in Stanton listed for the interstellar missions. So there's that. But none of that's a functionality issue. That's just a typing issue, right? That's just going in and adding these things into her database or into her table, however she's doing it. Take my programming comments with a grain of salt. The last time I programmed something other than building a website was with Turbo Pascal, right? If that dates me a little bit. So modern web development, dealing with Java and stuff, I don't know it. So I know the general theory of programming, that's fine. I mean, I take it back. I do PLC programming at school, because I teach that, but that's the extent of it. I guess that's technically still programming. But that's just filling in, typing some stuff in. It doesn't have anything to do with the functionality of the app itself. So what we're going to do is we are going to go back. And the other thing is when you have something in here and you type the drop down, it only shows you the drop down. You have to manually delete, and then you can go in and search or select for a ship. So obviously my Asgard's not there. So we'll go back with the Odyssey because it has slightly more than we have, but it won't give us. I don't know if it. Well, no. Let's try something smaller. Let's try something smaller and see if it gives us an issue. Right. And once again, we're going to go back to we're at Microtech right now, and I think we'll just take some local missions, and let me grab those really quick. Hopefully I've got OBS set up easy enough for me to edit back and forth, which was something I struggled with last night getting set up. But I've got an ultra-wide monitor, so we're recording the whole thing with each of them in 2560 by 1440. And then we'll put out a 2560 by 1440 final video, and I can cut and show whichever side of the screen I need to show. That way I don't end up leaving it on the app while flying for 20 minutes like I did last night. Okay, so let's go to contracts. Let's go to hauling. Local is what we're going to do. This one is 139. It has 4 stops. All right, so we're picking up, where are we picking up? All right, we're picking up at all of these and dropping off to the Kovalex distribution center. Okay, that's fine. Now we'll go back and this one we're collecting from the Kovalex and we're dropping off at those places. All right, let's accept that one. Do I have I didn't think to look to see how much I'm picking up or dropping off. 4, 7, 4, 5, 2, 3. Okay. I mean, we've got an Asgard. We've got 180 official grid space and another probably 60 or 80 unofficial grid space. So we've got room for it. And let's do one more. Let's throw a third one in there. If there is a third one that runs back and forth between Kovalex and the sites. Yeah. Is that the same? Is there more than one Kovalex distribution center? I don't remember. All right. So that is SD4CO5, SD4CO5, SD4 CO5. All right. So they're all the same one. So the next thing that this app should do is, rather than typing everything in manually, we should be able to insert a screenshot. Now, I ran into a problem last night, and we'll see if we run into it again, where it sees this slash as a 7. So it was saying 72. Now, again, that shouldn't be that difficult. It all uses the same font. So I used to play a lot of Eve, and I ran 3 accounts at once, and I used some unofficial apps to automate some of the mining processes, and that used essentially apps that looked at the screen and were able to tell, like, you know, is the hull full based on these numbers, and you had to go through and do some setup and some calibration to make sure it could read exactly what it was and identify it. So I don't know what they do nowadays to do that sort of stuff, but I know it's doable. That's just spending the time to do it. So I'm not worried about it. It's seeing this number, it's just adding a 7 to everything. And it didn't always get this, what was the number? This SCU number right too. But we're going to give it a go here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take a screenshot of the 3 of these. Now we're going to find those screenshots, which should go to pictures, I believe. And I will... Oh, it opened in the wrong... I just wasn't looking in the wrong place. It was opening up the whole time. We are going to go to, I believe, this. Now I'm going to drag my 3 screenshots over. And we're going to take a look to see how it did. This one I can I delete that one? This is from last night. Let's try that again. Let's go process again. Single block, best for SC. Sparse text, single line. Okay. She said in her video to just ignore all this for the most part. So I'm going to ignore it. So I'm going to go process again. That should go through and process all these. It does have a click to define regions. Maybe we need to do that. I don't know. Let's see how it did. All right. So one of these, the pickup from Kovalex, which is the one I have on my screen at the moment. It says I need to pick up 9 SCUs. 6-9. That's correct. All stims says that's correct. Deliver to Shubin. It just has one Shubin on this one. On the others, it seemed to get it correct. 22, 20. Well, some of them it seems to have picked up Shubin. There are more than one Shubin. This one it says just Shubin, not Shubin mining SMO13, Shubin mining SMO22, so on and so forth. The one that it got, is it just because it's on a different line? Is that the pickup one? Hold on. I'm going back and forth to see how it's formatted. Yes, the one that it got correct here, if we take a look here, this is going to be such a pain to edit. I should just do this as a one single wide screen. I might do that. That might be easier. You can see here that Shubin Mining Facility SMO13 is on one line, right? So it got that. But here, this one, where it just says Shubin, the Shubin and the SMO13 are on different lines, right? So it ran out of space. So that's my guess. That's why I think it didn't get it. And here it shows S4DCOS. Does it show that? Here it just says Kovalex. So I'm betting if we go back to this one, we're going to find that Kovalex and this S4D are on different lines. And that is true. Kovalex is here, S4D. So it's struggling with 2 lines of text versus 1 line and figuring out where those are. It doesn't wrap. So that's fine. Again, we can fix all that as we need to. So we've got the information. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to import it to the hauler. And now we will go ahead and we will fix our mission. So I'm on the stims one initially here, right? So we know we want to pick up from Kovalex S4DC05. Now, she's got... I don't think this is a full-time fix, but at least for Kovalex it is. There's only one Kovalex on this local list. So if it sees Kovalex, it could just say, hey, this is my best match. Rather than trying to read it specifically, it says, hey, I've got this, and now what do I have that matches that? And it can type it in. Now, that's not going to help her on the SMO 10, 13, 18s, right? If it just sees Shubin, it's got 4 Shubin options. So it's going to struggle with that. But we can, as long as she's got them here, that import is a nice to have, but not a requirement. I mean, we can type this stuff in. And we are picking up 2, 2, 3, and 2, and we are dropping them off at Shubin 13, Shubin 22, Shubin 10, and Shubin 18. It pays 139, which is accurate, so there we go. Let me get these typed in the rest of the way, and we'll move on to the next step. Now, it did on this last one actually get Covalex put in correctly, even though on the OCR scanner it didn't show it. It did actually match it to Covalex here, even though it was on 2 rows. So sometimes it works, even though it didn't show it on the OCR scanner, I don't believe. Covalex, SMO Covalex. No, it just showed Covalex, but it did actually match it. How do I go? Can I just go back to Hauler Helper? There we go. So this one I didn't have to type that in, even though it just showed Kovalev. So, and then it has my but these that I'll put in is 10, and they're not. So I'll get those fixed. All right. So I think I've got everything typed in properly. Reset missions, reset all. We've got all steps on. Reset completion. We haven't shown anything completed, so that's okay. So it has us initially picking everything up at Covalex. So for mission 1 and mission 3, we're going to pick up our stims, our hydrogen, our quantum, and our ship ammunition. Then we're going to Shubin 10. We are going to see now here, look, this time it combined the delivery and the pickups on one stop. I wonder if she has this built in where the actual missions themselves are typed in kind of completely, or whether it's just looking at, so it says, okay, I know this mission, this is how it gets grouped, rather than combining stuff based, I don't know. But it worked this time, so we'll take it. So we show that we are going to deliver these 2, but then we're going to pick up the scrap. Then we're going to go to Shubin 18. We are going to drop off these 2, and we're going to pick up the scrap. Then we're going to go to Shubin 22. We're going to drop off these 2. We're going to pick up the waste. Shubin 13, drop off these 2. Then we're going to head back to Kovalev, and we're going to drop off that. And at no point, let's see, 11, 15, 18, 22, 29 is going to be the max amount that we have. So again, I'd like to see a 29 here rather than a 40. If we add all of it up, I'm sure it does add up to 40, but at no point are we going to be carrying 40. So now what we can do is we can say, I want to show the current step only. And so now it's only going to show this. And as I do this, it is going to step up to the next step. I'm going to reset completion real quick. And you could do current step and the next step if you want to kind of see, you know, make sure it makes sense. But we've just gone through. So let me go ahead. I will switch back into the game. I'm going to go to the spaceport. At the elevator already. And then we'll get loaded up. Well, we'll fly to Kovalex S4D CO5. Then we'll get loaded up. God knows what was going on in chat while I was talking. Hopefully... Oh, no, I had the mission pulled up. I'm going to say, you can't trust chat to be YouTube friendly. Some days I think they're trying to rival the old... Oh, I forgot the zone in... the first zone outside of... in the Horde section. Where the first place where you come together in Wasteland. Or, was it Wasteland? Wastes? The Waste? Is that what it was? I don't remember. Anyway. Some days I think they're trying to rival that for unyoutubeable things said in chat. You guys have to let me know what that zone was called, because it's been a long time since I played. As we take off from New Babbage here, it occurs to me that I didn't actually say who wrote this app. At least I don't think I did. So this app was done by Wednesdaywoe. She has a YouTube channel, Wednesdaywoe Plays. You can see it here on the screen. And the video that she introduced the app was the Star Citizen 44 Starlancer Max cargo mission there, where she used it. And there's a link there. I will also to her app. I will also include the link to her Hauler Helper app here, as you can see it up here as well. On GitHub, there's nothing to install. It is simply a web app. And I will leave links to her channel and to her app down in below. Now, hopefully I remember to edit this in at the appropriate spot at the beginning of the video. But if not, you can laugh at me and let me know in the comments that I messed it up. But anyway, that's who wrote this. And so, none of this stuff is easy, but I understand the mindset that makes you do this, because I have also had the spreadsheets out trying to automate Excel to do exactly the same thing. So, Excel's the greatest program ever written, but I understand wanting to give yourself a decent UI for it. So I do appreciate it. Now, back to the previously recorded order that we recorded things in. All right, we are coming on in. Of course, all my friends that play on low pop servers are finally on. They were not on when we started today, so we are on my standard California West Coast server. I did ask to land inside. You don't need to. You could do this outside. But I don't remember if my... I didn't think to look as I got on the ship if my Atlas was on there. And I'm trying to get better with the Atlas Geo. The Geo as well, but the Atlas in general. And so I'm trying to use it more and more often for these missions. But if we go inside, I can call it up at the cargo hangar there. I can retrieve it that way. We can claim it at the ASOP terminal and then call it up in there. Whereas I don't think outside there's an ASOP terminal to claim it at. Get down gently-ish.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
And now let me move the ass end over towards a cargo elevator. Let's just go up. Spin this way. That looks pretty good. You back up a little bit, but not too far, because I want to. I don't need fuel. Kill the engines. Open the door, and we'll find out if I have a Atlas in the back. If I have the appropriate junk in the trunk. We'll know here in a second. Oh, there it is. Perfect. All right, now we got to figure out the order we want to bring these things up. So we know that our first stop to pick up is we're going to pick up everything. But I want to load it in an order that makes it easy to unload. So wherever our last stop is going to get loaded to the back. Now, conveniently enough, the app groups these things. You can see here mission 1 and mission 3 have this group J. So those stims, I believe, should be going to the same place, right? Whereas group G goes to here, these go to group 1 and group A, and we can change those colors. And this is all pickup. So let's show all steps. So current, I want to see all steps. So what's the last Schubenstopp. The last Schubenstopp is group G, right? So that's this right here. So if we go to here, to Visualizer, we can see all of these groups broken down. Is there a way to adjust how they go in here? Rows. I'm going to just do 2 rows. Actually, 1 row? 2 rows. Will that work? I think that'll work. But I don't see group G here anymore. Let's go columns 2, rows 3. Again, though, I seem to have lost that. Is it wherever it is and I can't move it? No, it's just not there. Huh. Okay, let me go back here and verify I'm remembering that. G, I, A, J, and then F is the final return, right? Yeah. That lists that as group I. Okay. So I've got F, J. Oh, that's right. No, hold on. Which one do I think I was missing? Well, G's not there, right? Okay, G. It looks like everything else is there. I, A, F, and J are there, but G is not. Can I add a group? Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to change the color on this one, which you can do. So we'll just make it green. And you could do custom colors as well, but we'll just do that so it's obvious. So G is going to move in. I'm going to make this, again, I'm going to go 2 columns by 3 rows. And so we're going to load G in at the back. And then we'll row whatever the next 2 there, and then the first stops here. That's how we'll do that. So in my case, I want to get G, then I, then J. G-I, J. Okay. G.I. Jane. There we go. That works pretty well. I've got a mnemonic. So, and then G will go here. F is going to be our final stop off. I'm probably going to start with F actually back here. So we'll go G, I, J, A. And we can load F into the back through the side doors. Well, do I want to do that? Is it easier to unload? Well, I can't load in through, it'll be easier, more difficult to load in through the back. Okay, that's what we'll do. So I'm going to kind of leave a little bit of room in F, but we're going to do G and I, and we'll go left first. So what do I need for that last, for G? Normally I could just click on it in there, but obviously this time I can't. So I'm going to go ahead and do this kind of slow. So we know we need 2 SCU of stims and 4 SCU of ammunition. Actually, we've got so little on this, we could kind of put it however we want. So this is stims. So you know what? We've got so little, I'm just gonna bring it all up. At once, and then we'll selectively load it as we need to. I'll probably do this by hand actually because there's so little of it to load, and I'm picking through it. I'd like to use the Atlas, and I have a trick that I learned from her from the Atlas that we'll talk about. But I think in this case, let's pick out what we want. So Group G is going to be 2 SCUs of stims. They make them all white. Those bastards. 2 SCUs of stims. And 4 SCU of ship ammunition. This quantum fuel. We can live there, that's fine. Is there another one back there? Yeah. That one's hydrogen fuel. Hydrogen fuel. What did I say I needed? Ship ammunition. Hydrogen fuel. Why don't you stack there? No, on top, where I had you. There you go. Quantum fuel. Quantum fuel. That was hydrogen, right? Quantum fuel. Ship ammunition. All right, so that's gonna be our first one. So give me a second. So that'll be our. Well, hold on. So now we've got that one. So our next stop is going to be I. So we can come over here, and I can go back to the visualizer, and I can say, okay, what's in I? Now it's popped everything up, and I can see I need to pick up. At I, I'm going to pick up these, but I need to figure out my drop-off right now. I have 2 SU container, and these are dynamic. As you type them in, there's little graphics that will change, which is really nice. I like that. She said that her mind transposes numbers, flips them sometimes. Mine, weirdly enough, swaps letters and numbers sometimes, you know, so I naturally leet speak. But I don't usually flip numbers around. But I like this. I like the graphic there. So I need 2 SCU of stim and a 4 SCU of hydrogen fuel. So one of the things about the Atlas is it kind of is a pain in the butt to move around. And what I would do is I would hold Z, and that gives you free look. So for instance, we can grab this. Now I can spin, and we will put it. We'll just put it right in the middle. We'll put it off to the side. Whoops, back. And that works. Then I let go of Z, and we're out of free look. But if, and this is not in the keybinds, if you tap Z, it toggles free look. So I don't have to hold the button down anymore, which I love. So we'll toss that there. So now we can load this stuff in a lot faster. So let's roll back up here. So we have, I'm going to show current step only. We have loaded everything. We've got everything from that we needed to load at the Kovalex. So we'll accept that. So now we're off to Shubin 10. And that is going to be our biggest drop-off. Well, our biggest initial drop-off. And we're going to pick up some scrap.
Thank you, and please visit again.
As we come in for a landing, we see Captain Deadwake there, by the way. He also has an excellent YouTube channel that focuses on hauling and others. Well, I don't know if he focuses on, but he does a lot of hauling videos. So I recommend you check him out as well. You know, make sure you swing by and say hi to Wednesday. Say hi to Captain Deadwake. What we got going on? Looks like that one's free. Swing too far. I can't see anything from the glare. No, not really. A little bit. Kill the engines, open the doors. Now, I did learn another workaround from Wednesdaywoe's video as well, in that if things don't unattach from your cargo grid, something you can try is to turn off the engines. Make sure your engines are turned off. Now, I haven't had that bug in a while. Usually the raft is the only thing I've ever seen it on. I did not know that workaround. So legitimately happy to hear that one. Yeah, we're still working on our skills here. So let's hop back in this. And we are at, let me verify we are where we're supposed to be. F2. We are at SMO 10, which is where we are supposed to be. All right, I just wanted to make sure because I didn't actually verify that. I'll go to like here-ish, we'll tap Z, we'll grab this. And we are dropping off 7 SCU of quantum fuel. So there's 6. There's 7. And 3 stims. Come out here, try not to get blown over if there's wind. Doesn't look like there is. Sounds like there is, though. Try not to fall as we leave the ship. We get the quick loading contents bug. Just get out of it and... Whoops, I don't know what I hit there. I hit C instead of F. And then get back in. It should come up right away. So we'll go ahead and drop these. And we've got greens across the board for that. And we'll pick up the waste. Scrap, I guess, in this case. We should get 3 SCU of scrap to load. I'll get that loaded, and we'll get moved on to our next spot. Make sure you hang out here. One of the bugs we still have is the invisible cargo, and I believe that's caused, well, it's not caused by, but, well, I guess it kind of is. If you leave that screen while it still says transferring, sometimes the elevator shows up and your objects do not show up. They're there, but they're invisible and you can't interact with them, and neither can anybody else. And now they take up that space. And it'll just keep taking up space till the entire elevator is filled with invisible cargo. I'm just gonna... Oops. We got the one in back. Somehow we shot right through the front one. That's fine. Oh. Okay. All right, so we have taken care of Shubin 10. Let us move on to 18. I think we're going back into the daylight, boys. Nice. Not that one. Oh, it looks like it's this one. There we go, watching the radar. Oh, maybe not. Nope, I should have gone where I was going in the first place. Into the sunrise. Well, I guess no matter which direction we go into the sun, it'll be a sunrise for us. Keep forgetting I have the face cam on. I haven't been using it a lot lately. I used to use it for every video. But I haven't been using it much lately. So hopefully I haven't done anything really embarrassing like pick my nose or something on camera. Because I have the app up on one screen and the game up on the other, I can't actually see my OBS screen while recording. And Alright, what do we got going on today? Looks like we have our choice. Looks like we can go to any of them.
Engines offline.
Kill the engines? Not because I'm worried about the cargo grid bug, although I guess now I am, but because I remember the days when your ship would just randomly fly away without you if you didn't. Alright, so here we should be dropping off 2 SCUs of stims and 5 SCUs of hydrogen. It looks like we're set up for that. So go ahead and hop in here, move it out of the way, and unload. This one's probably faster just to do by hand. Probably all these are, but maybe the initial load would be. But I'm just trying to get better with the Atlas. Throw it down. We'll bring up the scrap. I'll get it loaded. Again, I'll probably just do this by hand real quick, and we'll get on to the next one. All right, Shubin 18 was a success. Let's go ahead and hit that. Stop 4 is going to be Shubin 22. All right, this time we get a beautiful sunrise. We got everything, kind of. And I think that the next one will also be kind of more or less sunrise. I think it's directly south of us.
Bottom drive.
Got an Intrepid, probably. I've got a couple down here. What's the other one? And probably a Clipper. Okay. So no worries there. Small starter ships. Not that we really worried about any of this here, but all right, how well did I time it? Oh, did I nail it? Almost. There we go. Don't want to run into the building.
Engines offline.
All right, this is Shubin SMO 22. We need to drop off 2 SCO stems and 4 of hydrogen. Okay. Did you guys feel the Earth move too? Oh, it's because I'm in the cargo hangar. Okay, fair enough. Cargo doors are the most powerful object in the galaxy. And whether they end up slightly into a cargo hangar or overlapping just past the edge of a hangar, the actual bit of the hangar that goes up and down, that'll just throw you all over the place.
Engines offline.
They are more powerful than the rest of the ship put together. Back in the very recent past, actually, when the doors for the Hercules, A2, M2, C2, were not properly adjusted so that they came down at different angles, and one wouldn't push, one would go down far enough and leave a big gap, and the other would go down too far and it'd lift the ship off. My God, those things would go flipping end over end like flipping pancakes out off of a cargo bay if you put down if you open the doors slightly wrong. It's still not happy with us being on this bit here, but let's see if it'll actually work if we're too close. Every single one today. There we go. One of the nice things in the patch notes for the new engineering is that when you lock your doors open, they stay open. Notice, so we went through this door, so even though we locked it open, we told it to open, our proximity closed it behind us, and now it's no longer locked open or closed. So we'll see. That'll be nice. It's necessary for firefighting and engineering, but it's something that should have happened a long time ago because it's just annoying, frankly. I'll turn on the engines, close the rest of the doors, and mark off stop 4 complete. We are off to Shubin SMO 13. And as our trip slowly comes to an end, we got some early morning light, much like many trips in the past have ended. We've got SMO 13, pick up the last little bit of waste, and then we are back to Kovalex to turn in the final mission. So this should complete 2, and then let us pick up the rest of the waste. We'll slow down a little bit here, Eric. Coming in a little bit fast. Hate to wreck it here. This would be a dumb spot to wreck it. Got somebody on the platform there. Ah, looks like a straight cutter, actually. We'll just unload at an angle this time. Oh. Let's scooch a little bit farther. One of the nice things about having a lot of friends in this game, even if you are, you know, an antisocial loner like myself, is that a little bit too far for that's okay. It helps you find low population servers. So both myself and Captain Deadwake are more than willing to accept random friend requests for people who are looking to try to find the best server for their situation. So for instance, if you're doing some smuggling in and out of Pyro, you want a low population server, probably. If you are actively looking to interdict those guys, though, you probably want a server with a high population. So having a lot of friends in the game on various server levels that you can join, not join within the party, but just join them on their server, is sometimes really nice. So like I said, Captain Deadwake has come out in his videos and said, hey, just send me a friend request. You know, I'm looking for that too, as am I. So feel free to send me one as well. I'm Mellow7 here on this account, and Roman Legion, ROAM, as in the channel Rome Gaming, for my kind of rags to riches, minimal real money spent account. Feel free to add me for either. So Mellow7 with a numeral 7. Does it show up if we go to 11? F11 for contact. Does it show my name in here? Yeah, there we go. Mellow7. That be me. Anyway, feel free to send me a friend invite if you're looking for some additional friends and server locations. You can do a little bit of server hopping. Happy to accept. And if you're just getting into the game and you are looking to get a referral code will get you an extra 50,000 UAEC in cash. So you get maybe 20,000 from your starter package. It'll get you a chunk more. And then if you do the tutorial, I think that gets you another 40 or 50. So you could get potentially another 100,000 UAC with the referral code and doing the tutorial. My referral code's down below. Pretty much any YouTuber that does Star Citizen will have their referral code in the description of the videos. And if you got some friends playing, ask them for theirs because they get a little bonus too. Sometimes, for instance, during the expo, there are additional benefits. So during the expo, if you got a referral, you got a free Star Kitten Dragonlance. And then the person who used the referral got a free Star Kitten spacesuit and helmet. And pistol, actually. The whole thing came with you got the whole kit and caboodle. So you occasionally, depending on what's going on, get some additional stuff. I don't know if there's going to be anything additional for a referral program for the Christmas season. They've already started. If you get an account every day through the 22nd that you log in on the website, and I suppose we can do that here in just a second. Maybe we'll do that once we get into space here. When we hit our 11 kilometers here. We'll flip over to that and we will click on it and see what day 2 has in store. Day 1 were some paint schemes for the Golem OX, the Golem Ox, which is a great cargo ship. Little beginner cargo ship. In fact, while we're flying up, let me switch over here. We'll go Star Citizen, main page. Then we will click down. We call it Luminalia or whatever is what they call it. Do we not get it? It is not loaded. There it is. Hit the light the lamps. Let me click back over here because we are about to hit space. And then if you go down here, you can see here, we got these two, I got these two paint schemes. So now on day 2, we can click. And what is day 2? Looks like we got a pistol. We got a Pulse Picanaglia laser pistol for day 2. So each day, it'll be 22 days. Not 22, is it? How many days? It is this, like the 7th through the 13th. 13 days. Oops, I need to set my location. And because I completed those, they're no longer showing up. Let's verify that they did in fact show as complete. Objective completed, contracts, history. All right, they did. So we should have just this one left. Go ahead, track it. That'll give us a dot on the map that we can fly to. Somewhere. There it is. We'll go finish this thing off. And in the meantime, we can come back to our hauler helper and we can mark off stop 5 is complete and off to stop 6. Let's see while we're coming in for a landing here if there's anything special for the recruit. 168 recruits in 1 week. Bush Wookie Bandits working. I don't see anything special for Luminalia as far as recruitment goes. Oh, we're close enough here.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
We've got a gentleman who lives in the neighborhood. He's older. I'm guessing in his 80s, and he's always dressed nice. Got his fedora on, and he has a little terrier that has so much pep in his step. He's always prancing. Anyway, they just walked by. That's how it comes. That's why I'm thinking about that. Always makes me smile when I see him go past. It's a lovely fall day. Sun's out. The leaves are falling. And he's out walking with his little dog. Oh, we're not quite in enough, are we? A little bit more. I was a little higher than I thought I was when I cut the engines. Thought that was going to be a little more graceful. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Let us switch back to the hauler helper here. And we'll finish this and turn on our last mission. Now sometimes when you're using the Atlas, it actually helps to park at an angle rather than back straight up. Because it changes. Like if we have to turn all the way to here or turn, it's a lot easier if we just have to go this far to load, right? So just because I did it this way, in fact, I'm going to put us there, tap Z. Love that. And we'll unload. Next to it or one over? We got that beautiful fall sun is now completely in my eyes. So now let's rotate. Will it let us rotate? There we go. We'll watch all the numbers change. Oh, did I miss? No, it's all supposed to go to SDC05. Come on. Did it not go? Oh. Well, that's annoying. We might be hosed. Probably because I didn't sit here the whole time. I don't know if that has anything to do with that or not. Let's try this again. Nope. That waste no longer counts towards this mission. Am I at SD4CO5? Let's verify. SD4CO5. That's what all of it needed to go to. Well, poop. We made it through the whole thing without any weird errors. And now it just decides, it did steal it, it gave it to me, it just refuses to accept it. You know what happens is they showed up and they said, you know what, this container is scratched. We're not going to accept this as our deal. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How much did we still have left to do? 6. It's because, look, it accepted it in different... No, because that's 3, that's 3. I think it wanted a 2 and a 1, a 2 and a 1. And it accepted the 2 and the 1 from the wrong one. And now we ended up with all the 1s. But we still had a 2 and a 1, but it maybe not have been the right one. I bet you that's what happened. Somewhere on the back end, some of it doesn't care and some of it's very explicit about what it wants. And somehow that got confused. I think it's that, not me watching it go down. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. So, just as Wednesday had to do in hers, where she was just missing flat out a container that disappeared, we will have to go here to our journal, and we will also have to, to our contracts, and we will have to shamefully submit this one, even though we are missing half of it. More than half of it. So we're not going to make very much on this one. We only made 26 out of the 163. $139. So we got 20%. Wanted to make more money today, but that's okay. That is not the fault of Wednesdaywoe or her app. It is the fault of Star Citizen. And there we go. Completed. So, to wrap up, for my Interstellar run, it was terrible. Because it doesn't have any of the systems that I needed, or the commodities. Didn't have the correct commodities or the correct systems typed in at the moment. It also doesn't have my ship. And some ships like the Argo Raft, it has incorrect SCU. All of that though is just typing. None of that is logic. None of that is a functional problem with the app. It's just, does she have enough time to come in here and type in a bunch more ships with their cargo capacity, and does she have enough time to type in all of that? Now, I don't know how she's doing it. I don't know if she's doing these by mission. So she says, okay, this mission requires this and this, therefore, and then it needs these commodities, and she's typing them in that way. Or if she's just going through and going to add all of the commodities and all of the stations. That's a Wednesdaywoe question. I don't know. I don't know how she's doing it. And I'm not a big GitHub person. Not that I dislike GitHub. I'm not saying that. I just don't know much about how it works. And I know GitHub occasionally allows people to work together to finish stuff, right? By leaving assets there. So it's possible Wednesday would be, depending on how she's got it set up and how exactly GitHub works, that you might be able to help support that by typing some stuff in. I'd be more than willing to type some stuff in if it's just update a database by typing a bunch of names into it. To help out with the development of it. So not working on the programming side of things, just working on that. Now, as far as stuff that didn't work, the OCR scanner struggles with stuff that's on 2 lines. And last night it struggled with the slash in the description, before the final, before the amount. So if we were supposed to deliver 02, it would say I need to deliver 702, something like that. And I think that's just kind of calibration of the OCR scanner, making sure it knows exactly what it's looking for. But I didn't really see any logic errors in it. Anything that I would consider an actual bug. Just some missing and incorrect information, which it says right there is there. So it is what it says on the tin. I liked it. I thought it was useful. It was really nice to help get my loads organized. And that's what I'm looking for. The rest of it, even if it could just be, I type it in, even if it's not down a drop-down box, even if I had to type in, SD4CO5 here and SMO13 here, and then use that to compare rather than drop-downs. That means that if I make a typo, it's going to show it as 2 locations I have to go to instead of 1, whereas the drop-down box is nice because you just click on it and it's going to be accurate. But Wednesday, if you see this, I think you did a great job. And I hope you continue on it because I plan on using it. Why did I choose Microtech for mine? Because I ended up at New Babbage at the end of my hauling missions last night. It's the only reason I chose the Microtech system over something else. I haven't played with the other systems yet. I haven't played with Hurston. I haven't played with ArcCore. Local missions are not available for ArcCore yet. There you go. Okay, that answers that. Crusader. Looks like they're in for Crusader. Nyx only has interstellar missions at the moment. Pyro obviously is not in yet. So you can kind of see what's there and what's not. And that's it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Again, the Luminalia event is going on the main Star Citizen webpage. So if you would like to get some free stuff, head over there. Make sure you're logged into your account. If you'd like to send me a friend request, I am Mellow7 at Mellow7. Happy to do it. And there is a referral link down below if you would like to get into the game and get some additional rewards. I've only got 2 citizens recruited, so, I'm happy to get some more. But you also, more importantly, get an extra 50,000 credits. So pick your favorite YouTuber, pick your favorite friend that plays the game. Give them an extra benefit of your referral, and you'll take your cash and have a great day. And we will see you next time. Cheers.